What is going on, my fellow Masketeers? Welcome back to another episode, and today we are here to talk about DCEU's The Flash. Yes, after many setbacks, date changes, reshoots, The Flash has finally come out, and I must say, DC were able to pull one last magic trick out of their hat, because somehow, even though Ezra Miller did everything in his power to go on a one-man tirade to destroy his career, they somehow were able to bring this movie out. So, let's get into the film. Now, with this review, I'm not really going to talk you through the whole film. I'm not even going to talk about the film per se. I'm going to give you my general thoughts and opinions of it. I'll say this, in the first 5 minutes, it's a mixed bag for me. The reason being is because I don't personally like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I don't like his interpretation of Barry Allen. I feel with the character and how he plays him, it would have made more sense if he's Wally West. The reason being is because they wanted him to be the comic relief, the jokey kind of character within Justice League. Even though Barry does tell jokes, Barry is more charming and Barry is intelligent and he is confident. Whereas Wally, again, he is more of the comedic character. He doesn't take everything too serious. The version that Ezra plays, it doesn't connect at all because he doesn't even come across as funny or charming. To me personally, I feel like this version of Barry Allen is autistic. And not to be offensive, that's the only way they can explain why he behaves the way he behaves. It's not even a case of where he has OCD. He literally is on the spectrum. Now, with that being said, let me get back to this movie. The first 5 minutes, he does the weirdest stance I have ever seen in my entire life. And the moment I saw that stance, I can't even lie to you, this movie was looking a little bit shaky for me. He does the stance and then it goes into a running sequence, which to me is probably the worst form of CGI I have ever seen in a movie of this magnitude. And when I say this magnitude, I'm talking about a movie that cost 200 plus and the CGI is bad. Even the first scene of when he has to basically save a hospital full of babies, the CGI was terrible. It felt like I was watching a PS3 cutscene. It was that bad. And even his suit, because it's CGI, even that don't look good. It just doesn't work. It may seem like I didn't like this movie. It's a mixed bag for me. The reason why I say that is the storyline, I can't lie to you. It had some strong elements. I felt that at certain point, this film had all the makings. It had all the ingredients to be great, to be special, especially because it was going to be the final film within the DCEU, or it was meant to be anyway before they did the whole reshuffle. And I felt that this film, they were going to use this as the flashpoint, a way to reset the DCEU into James Gunn's DC. They decided to do their own thing, for better or for worse. And even if they decided to go their own path, I thought that they still could have made this film work for what it was. In my opinion, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And the reason why they didn't do that is because they had too many ideas that they tried to just stuff into the film and they don't give explanations. The way the Flash's powers work and how he's been able to use his powers didn't make any sense. He literally just discovers new powers and just discovers how to do certain things. It's just normal. There's no repercussions. There's not even a case of where he has to practice. It's there. And to me, that didn't really sit well. Even how he is able to time travel. We know that he time traveled in the Justice League, and even then, it was more of a case of desperation, him pushing beyond his limits. In this movie, he just does it, and then he's just figured it out. Cool, I can get behind that. When we go deeper into the movie, and when he basically goes back in time to prevent his mother's death, and then that causes a weird paradox to him affecting present day. It's not really present day because he kind of goes back to 2013 when Man of Steel came out, and that's where the majority of this film takes place. It's like a rewriting of the Man of Steel. Now, the only good thing for me is two parts. One, Michael Keaton as Batman, the little boy in me, I was gassed automatically. I remember watching the Tim Burton movie, seeing him for the first time and saying to myself, yo, this is crazy. Now, as I got older and read more comic book, I realized that even Michael Keaton's Batman is not really Batman because this man's out here killing people regular. A lot of people like to forget that. Tim Burton's Batman, he was killing people calm. In that respect, he doesn't capture the perfect Batman. He was the first Batman I saw on the big screen, so there's some nostalgia there. I can't even front. There's a bias there. Michael Keaton, my Batman. And the second was Superwoman. I can't lie to you. Clara, she was doing it. Batman and Superwoman were the best part of that film for me. Seeing Barry present and Barry of the past, where he's stuck in 2013, where he's like 18 years old. Both versions that Ezra played, they were trash. Especially because they could have done so much more. I thought they could have shown Barry as a different character in terms of him not carrying any of the scars that the current Barry has. But no, he just plays the same obnoxious character. He's just one is more hyperactive than the other. That's basically it. It didn't really work too tough for me. And again, one thing which I will say I really liked was how they explained time travel and the multiverse. They took a little dig at Marvel. Let me not even lie to you. Even the way they explained it, that was definitely a dig at Marvel. Their version makes much more sense. And because of that, I was more invested in how the story would play out once they explained how time travel works. Unfortunately, they fell short. The explanation was good. When it came to the execution of it within the film, there is so many parts where it was just left lacking, for me anyway. There wasn't any urgency in certain areas. And even when it came to the story, certain parts of the story were just dumb and didn't make any sense. You could have made like the simplest changes and you would have made the movie so much better. And it's not even a case of where the changes had to be big. Little changes. If they added 1 or 2 scenes of dialogue between certain characters, I thought that would have also helped the story. Because this movie is over 2 hours long and nothing really happens until we get to like the last 30 minutes. And I won't even talk about the villain because again, they forgot about the villain in their own story. And they had the chance to make one of the best villains because when they give you the reveal, it was actually good. I liked how it all tied together. The only problem was they tried to do it in the last like 5 minutes. So you're like, wait, what? The whole film, you see the villain pop up and then the film forgets about him and then tries to tie it back in the last 5 minutes, and you can't really do that. Because of that, there was just good elements and good moments. Overall, nah. And I don't know who was leaking this fake news about how people have seen this film and it's like the best superhero film ever made. I think at one point they even said that Tom Cruise got to see the film early and he said it's like the best superhero movie ever made. I won't even lie, Tom, you might need to go sue whoever made that statement on your behalf because there's no way you saw this film and thought this is the best film ever made for superheroes. Stop it. Just stop it. Right now, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is literally like the top superhero movie out right now. Make no mistake about that. This film, again, is not the worst of DC's. Absolutely not. Not the worst one. That title is between Shazam and Wonder Woman 1989 or 1984. Whatever the hell that movie was called. That piece of dog shit. But Flash falls somewhere in the middle. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just decent. It's just floating there. And I felt if this is going to be the film that ends Zack Snyder's verse and the film that would essentially set up James Gunn, they could have done so much more to where you leave with a sense of, even though we didn't get a full conclusion to the story, we have some peace. With this film, you don't really get that. Side note, there's a moment in the film where they start to kind of show the other universes. And we got to see like the original Superman, like from the 1940s or 50s, black and white. We got to see Christopher Reeve's Superman like in his world. We even got to see Tim Burton's Superman with, what's his name? Nicolas Cage. And here's the thing, those moments should have been so cool. Do you know what brought it down for me? The absolute garbage CGI, because it felt like I was watching a Tekken 3 cutscene. The CGI looked so bad. And I was just thinking to myself, you could have just deep faked their faces onto real bodies. Like, why did the CGI look so bad? In the Christopher Reeve's universe, you see Supergirl come and her hair was meant to be blowing in the wind. When I tell you how stiff her hair looked, I said, come on, what's happening here? That was meant to be a really cool moment to see these different worlds and to see all these Supermen in live action, even if it's for like 3 or 5 seconds like we did. But because the CGI was so poor, I couldn't even appreciate what they were showing me. It just looked like dog shit, all of it. With that being said, I'm gonna give my verdict for The Flash. The Flash is gonna get a 6 out of 10 for me. Like I said, it's not a bad film, but it's not a good film neither. It's just kind of in the middle. I was gonna give it a 5, but I can't lie. Michael Keaton, that's Batman. I don't care what no one told me. Michael Keaton is Batman. He made it a 6. Please let me know if you watched the film. Sound off in the comments. Put your thoughts. Let's talk it out. And like always, please like the video. It helps with the algorithm. Gets more people to see it. Helps the channel grow. Much appreciated. And please subscribe. Subscribe. You know, if you're watching the video and you're not a member, please hit that sub button. Let's get it popping. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm a Masketeers. I will see you at the next masquerade. Peace.